I welcome you to another edition of One-on-One on Pep Radio Ibadan. My name is Debbie Oluchi, and on today's edition of One-on-One, we have a guest, and this is someone who has made a name, especially in the movie industry. We want to know how she made this name. We want to know the challenges she has faced in the movie industry. Would you like to know my guest for the day? Then stay there and I will introduce my guest. Welcome, Mom, and it's a privilege to have you on the program now.
Thank you.
Yeah, just quickly introduce yourself to everyone listening to us.
Yeah, my name is simply Rose Odika. Like we all know, I'm an actress, a veteran, so to say. It's my pleasure meeting you guys.
Yeah, thank you very much for the privilege, ma'am. Talking about your personality and that name, you know, when I hear Mrs. Rose Odika, it comes to my mind, okay, where is she from? What state of origin? I know you're from Nigeria, but what state are you from?
Well, I'm from Delta State. I am from Maniocha local government. That means the Igbo-speaking Delta. That's where I'm from.
Okay, so that brings me to ask you this question: that if you're an Igbo woman and you're featuring majorly in Yoruba movies, and you know your Yoruba language is not being, you know, when you're speaking Yoruba, we really don't know that you're an Igbo.
It's not giving me a
yes. So how did you do that?
Well, okay. I was born in Lagos State, and I want to believe that my early life is a big part in, you know, making me speak Yoruba very well. Born in Lagos, brought to Oyo State, Ibadan land in 1978.
Wow.
So I was barely 6, 7 years old, and for me to grow up in that kind of environment, of course, I will speak Yoruba very
fluently.
Well. So I want to say that is why, the reason why I think I speak Yoruba very well.
Okay, all right. So, what exactly brought you into acting? At what point did you start acting, and what exactly influenced your interest in acting?
Well, I had a good mentor earlier in life, and that is my one time my vice principal when I was in secondary school.
Whoa.
My vice principal, Dr. Mrs. Eru, she's far away in Canada now. I've even lost contact with her. But wherever you are, Mom, I appreciate you for mentoring me well. You know, when we were in the secondary school, we had this drama group. She was heading the French drama group, and she was teaching us French. She was in charge of it, and I was part of the group members, the student that was acting. So one day, you know, she called me into her office and said, "Look, you know what? What do you want to become in life?" I said, "I want to be a linguist. I want to study German language." And no, go for theater arts. Go for performing arts. Why? I said, "Yes, I can see the talent in you. You have it. It's an impute. It's in you. So just go for it." So thereafter, I picked that up and I made up my mind I was going to act. Since somebody is telling me, go do it. So I believed in her and I believed in myself. So that was what motivated my going into acting.
What year exactly did you start acting?
Professionally, I won't talk about the secondary school year. Professionally, I started in 1989.
Whoa,
yes. Down like, where were you?
Oh God! Wow, that was about 30 years ago.
31, 32 years. Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow! Now you know when I said something when we started. I said you called yourself a veteran, and I said I'm not going to argue because and now it's I agree 100% that you are a veteran. That's about 32 years in the movie industry. Wow. Okay, so having 32 years is a huge experience. So can you please share a little bit of your experience throughout the 30 years you have in the movie industry?
Wow, let me start from the beginning because I don't know where to actually start from.
Okay.
It was, of course, not bed of roses. Like my name implies, and my name is a lot of philosophy to me. Rose. If you want to pluck a rose, you know when you see a rose flower, everybody wants to jump at it. A beautiful flower, but you know surrounded with thorns. So if you want to pick that flower, rose flower, remember there are tongues and you have to pick it with care. and with every precautions. So that I would say my name helped me. I use my name as a symbol to my life. I use it as a lesson to my life. I knew that the industry I was going into, number one, was a very competitive one. A very competitive one. I knew I had to move around before I can excel. I didn't even know it would come fast. I was expecting that, what does it take to become a star? Which film will I make now that, who will even invite me? Those were the things going in my mind. But because I was determined to make it, I knew what I needed was the good talent, good character, and being humble with prayer that I would get the answers. And that was what I used. When I finished secondary school, a friend of mine took me to one Mr. Tunji Fatilewa. He's in Abuja right now. And the guy told him that, look, this young talent, she's very creative, she's very good. I know you will find something for her. She's very good, you won't regret it. And I said, okay, I'll be having a production soon. I will invite you. And that was my first encounter with being in front of a camera, because I started with stage.
Okay.
That was my first time of being encountered with the camera. So it took me, and he said, okay, can you do this? I said, why not? I can. And he gave me the script. The title of that it was a sitcom, and it was the name was Neighbor Next Door, and I played the role of Anne, Lady Anne, who came from America to Nigeria. And to God's grace, they were all saying, wow, have you been abroad? I have never even seen the show of an airport. But somehow I was able to do it well. From there, they connected me to where I got the nitty-gritty of theater. From the then Dr. Showande, who is now Professor Showande. That was where I learned from, and he really taught me well, and I started from stage play. So it was not easy. If you say you start from stage play, that means you started from the core area.
Yeah.
So for me to scale through, it was God's grace and determination.
I picked something from the little story you told me, and I discovered that everything that has to do with you is about training, is about passion, is about commitment. But when you look at the present day Nollywood, we can't deny it that we have some quacks. People who come into the industry because, okay, I just want to be known, I want to be seen on the TV and all that, and because of that, to a reasonable extent, it affects the production we have. Some people just, you watch some movies and at the end of the day, you'll be like, what exactly do we have here? So what exactly can you say? Because you are someone who grew out of a training place. Now, what exactly can you say about having quacks in the movie industry?
Yeah, very good. That's a very big problem we have been trying to deal with. It's a sensitive thing, because there's no law that says you can't act. You can just feel like, I want to go and act. You have little change and you start acting. You just start your production. We have to, go back to the basics where everybody should fall in line. Yes, you think you have the talent, which is the raw material we need. The talent, fine, but go and learn it. There must be this professional touch in it. So I will advise. What I can do right now is advise. I will advise that the young ones, anyone that wants to take the acting as a career, please find a leader and go and start from that leader. Go and get the training. Okay, I was on a particular set some few weeks ago. A grown-up lady who just felt, well, somebody brought me here and I want to act. She was given a role to shoot, and we were acting together, and she was just messing it up, backing the camera, talking at intervals when not necessary. And the director was like, who brought this lady? Please take her out. How long do you go on doing like that, messing the professionals? Because you are messing me up. If you bring somebody like, I can say quack, or say somebody who is not professional, somebody who have not learned on the job. So please, you have interest in this career, go and learn it so that you can be the best. You won't just be among the crowd. And that is what can help you, to excel among the numerous. We have numerous people
Of course.
You know, numerous people. You have well over thousands of people. You know, but how many are known? Very few.
Yeah.
So what will help you to come out
Stand
of
out.
that, to stand out, is the training. So please, let's all fix ourselves under somebody, a leader who can train us.
Well, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful advice there, and I hope one person or some people will listen to this and, you know, pick a cue out of that and go out there to train yourself. Get trained before you get into the industry. All right, now still talking about your experience. I'm sure that within a long period you have spent in the industry, you might have faced a lot of challenges. So I wanted to just share brief out of the challenges that you have, especially as a woman, because I have heard people in the industry say, okay, it's not easy as a woman to rise, especially to the point that you have risen to today. So what are the challenges that you faced as a woman in the movie industry?
See, sometimes I always, whenever I'm asked this kind of question, I always want to answer it with all sincerity. But everybody used to say, are you sure? Because I would say my case is very, 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 very rare. My case is very rare. If I tell you, I've never been sexually harassed in this industry. And I came into this, so when I'm talking about 89, I was barely 18. I was 16 or 17 in 89. So if I was able to scale through, that means I came into the industry very young. And I'm still maintaining it till now. And I'm telling you, I have never been sexually harassed. You know, people will keep saying, they will, you know, look at me and say, are you sure? So what are my recipes? What I want to, the way I would like to answer this question. My challenges, how have I been able to come out of all those things?
Okay.
I have never been sexually harassed. No directors have said, without going to bed with me, you won't be given a role. It has never happened. And I'm saying it with all sincerity. The only challenges I had was maybe when I got into the, when I changed over to being a producer, an investor, getting the money was not easy. How do I make my money back was not easy. Okay, the challenges of, we got to the hotels, armed robbers came in the midnight. Aside from all those kind of normal, you know, things. But the challenges of, you know, how did I excel? How was I able to come out of it? I don't have any bad story to tell. But I would rather share what were the recipe that I used. I was very focused earlier in life. I had a very good home training. Kudos to my late father, may so rest in peace. You know, the Bible said, teach your child the way it should go. When he grow up, he won't depart from it. I was lucky to come from that type of background. My father would always tell me, don't do anything by selling your body. He will tell you, yes, there's the mentality of use what you have to get what you want. But rather use your brain, use your creativity, use what you have in you. Don't believe that opening your legs will give you the, you know, answer every time. No. A man can even have his way and still dump you.
Sure.
You know, but the most important is know what you are doing. In this job, in this career, do you think you have the talent? Do you think you can grow with it? You can learn more? You know? Then, don't, you know, men are very funny. All these guys, all these directors, they won't go to a decent girl that is just seated gently. They will go to the one giving them eyes, or the one that is, you know, there's a way you don't speak, but you're telling a man, I need you.
Yeah.
You know, you this common look, come up looking, you know, I don't know what to call it. This common look. And the directors are watching, you know, this one wants me, let me, actually, that's what you want to sell, I will buy it. Sure, you understand? I never had such. I came in and I was focused to God's glory. And how will you even look at me and tell me, come on? When I don't even laugh, I'm there, I'm just on my own. You will think twice before you come and tell me nonsense. Do you understand? Yeah, like the late Olumide Bakare, when I went to visit him in the UCH when he was ill, I went with my big auntie, Sister Jokemu Iwa. That was the day I even know Jokemu Iwa passed through Olumide Bakare. And Sister Jokemu Iwa was asking jokingly, Uncle Olumide Bakare, what happened? Among the many guests you were just chasing and having your ways with, you never disturbed me. What happened? And I was attractive too. Auntie Joke was telling Olumide Bakare, Alumide Bakare laughed on a sick bay and said, yes, I noticed you were focused and I didn't want to distract you.
Wow. Wow.
In fact, that was a big one for me. So man knows when this one has come to face what he wants to face. Let me leave him. This one has come to sell her body. Let me buy. Wow. So that is, just pick one or two from my words. Those are my recipe.
Wow.
Be focused, face with what you are there to do, and do it well. If you do it well, they won't mess you up.
Oh. You said you started your career pretty early in life, and if I remember, you talked about 1989. Okay, how would you compare the movie industry in this present time and in the olden days in terms of content, in terms of production, in terms of morals? How would you compare it?
Wow, there are big differences. Let me start with content.
Okay.
I want to believe in the area, in those years back, we're producing better things, better content. They had better content. And comparing standard, to some extent, they still had good things to show. Like these days, we are driven away too far from who we are. From who we are. We are going too far from who we are. You can never be a perfect person if you always copy people. We want to be like Hollywood. We will only be a better photocopy. Why don't we just improve Nigeria and be the best Nollywood instead of being a photocopy of Hollywood? So in our content, we are too modernized. Even the English, we are not even speaking them better. So why don't we, I want to say, focus on what would promote us better, what will sell us out. Look at the Bollywood. In everything Bollywood is doing is about India culture. Sure. And everywhere you want to go and look at Z-World, you want to go and look at Bollywood. If we sit tight and we promote what is of our background, it will sell better. Because the English we speak here is not the same they speak there.
Of course.
You know, so when we do it in our own cultural language, Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba language, Efik, and we subtitle, probably we'll have more sales. You know. Secondly, morally, we were more cautioned or cautious than the ladies we have now. Then it was more of passion. It was more of, well, if God says I will have a name, if God says I will become a star, if God says I will become known. But these days, a girl is coming with all the, you know, the mindset of I just want to be known. I just want to be known. And whatever it takes, I will give it. And they feel so hard within 1 year, 2 years. Because they just want to be known. They are not talking about I just want to be professional. I just want to be okay. All they want to do is I just want to be known. It was not like that when we were coming. In fact, when I came in 1989, I didn't even know any star or any known name. I just know that we were acting in secondary school, and this my Oga said, go and make it a career. My mindset was make it a career. What will bring money for you? I was not all out to make name. So I featured in 2 films, and everywhere I go, they now say Rose Odika, Rose, and I said, is that how people make name?
Wow.
It was not in my mindset to go there and make name. I only wanted to make money. You know, my passion, make it my career. How do I make money from this thing? That was my mindset. But the ones of these days, all they wanted is, I want to go and make a name. Thank God for you if you make your name and you are alive. Some make a name and they are just gone. You know. Now, production level, with our equipment, how we do our things, at the production level, I would say we are better now. Improvement has come in that. You know, improvement has come. We produce, you know, technically, we do better films. Technically. Of course, what the cameras we have now were not available those days.
Yeah, that's true.
So I can't really say, because I knew that what they were producing those days in the 89s, in the 80s, were also good production. But now we have better camera,
cameras.
better equipment. Sometimes we have different kind of light right now. Those days you'll be under hot lights and everybody will be sweating. Right now you'll be shooting, you won't even know there are lights on. So there are improvements left and right, but we still need to change in some areas.
Looking at the current state of our country, we know this country has been eaten up by corruption. We have insecurity, the challenge of insecurity and all that. How do you think the movie industry can be a solution to this many problems that we have in this country?
Wow, we have a role to play, a lot of roles to play. Number one, we are image makers. If we are image makers, then we have to correct ourselves. Apart from the film we shoot, we are known everywhere. We are mentors to a lot of youths. We have to, be cautious of our lifestyle. We don't need to let the young ones feel everything that matters in life is your money, your Gucci bag, or your Chanel bags. No. It's about integrity in the first place. It's about hard work. So we need to change our lifestyle so that we can mentor better youths. When you look at the social media right now, every day you just see different kind of, this one rich, my mansion, my car, my Range Rover. No. We should change that as an image maker. From the film we produce, of course, we are trying to some extent, because you see that when you show somebody maybe a dubious person that is very rich, at the end of the day, he will be caught, you will send him to prison, or he will be hanged. When you see somebody prostituting, at the end of the day, you will catch an illness or something. So, in that area, we are trying. Let us just improve more. As an actor, we should change our lifestyles so that we can mentor this youth well and change their mentality of it's not all about money, it's about integrity and hard work.
Having spent a long time in the industry, I'm sure you would have some things if the power was being vested on you to say, I need to change this, I need to change this is not right and this is not right. So if you are given the opportunity to change anything in the movie industry, what would that be?
Wow. Well, you gave me one opportunity, just one thing, and I will say that.
Okay.
But let me tell you that I've been in the leadership of the association that I belong to, which is Theatre and Motion Pictures Practitioners Association of Nigeria, TAMPAN. Have been in the, this is my second time as the governor of the association in your state. So if I say I don't know what needs to be changed, then I don't know what I'm doing. The first thing I think the industry generally has to change is the influx of people. The way we admit people into this industry, we should go and face it with all strength. There is no regulation, I said it earlier. No regulation. The body generally called Nollywood should go and sit tight and look into the influx of people. You can just rise up tomorrow morning and say, I am an actor. As long as you have little change to produce a movie and act in your bedroom, you're an actor. And we say we're a professional body, it must be looked into. You can't just pick up needle and thread and say you are a tailor. You can't just pick up your syringe and say you are going to use an hospital and inject somebody. Even though we have quacks, but there's a body that regulates. We should have a regulatory body. If I have something to change, it's the way people come and say, this is an actor. No, what makes you an actor? You should go and sit tight and look out. Screen people out. Screen them out. If they have talent, put them in a learning, training school, let them train, get them in. There must be a setup. There must be a structure. People cannot just come, people, and I'm an actor, tomorrow morning I'm an actor, and every day an actor, every day actor, every day. It should change. If I have the power, that's the only thing, and I know if that is changed,
to affect a whole lot of things. That's true. Okay, let me just, something dropped in my mind when you were talking. What's the impute of the government to what the industry is doing?
Wow. I will, let me say, a big kudos to the Commissioner for Information, Culture and Tourism, Mr. Lai Mohammed.
Okay.
Let me say kudos to President of Nigeria, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCON, if I'm right. They are trying. A particular amount of billions have been put in CBN for creative industry to access. If you go to the Bank of Industry, there are money there for an act or a producer's creative industry to access. Every day they are looking at how to improve the creative industry. Just a few weeks ago, the National Theatre in Gomu has just been given out to CBN for innovation. I want to say kudos to this government. There is a big change and they are taking us to the next level. So they are inputting a lot, and we know between now and 2 years you start seeing better results.
Yeah, I wanted to give you a word of advice to everyone, especially young people in the industry and everybody generally in the industry.
Well, I want to advise them, to stay focused in life. Know what you want to do. All that glitters is not good. It is real that all that glitters is not good. A lot is beneath this, the surface. You only see somebody in the surface and you conclude it is well. It is not all well. So take your time, know what you're going to do before you come into this industry. And for upcoming who are already in this industry, please hold on to God. No director can make you a star. No producer can make you a star. I will give you 100 row. Come is a lie. Be in the film from beginning to the end, you might not star. So hold on to God that gives us the name and star, your creator, and all will be well with you.
Okay, your final word to Nigerians out there.
I want to give a shout out to all my fans.
Yeah.
You are the people who have been solidly behind me. And I thank you for being, for your prayers. I thank you for inputting your money in whatever production I release. Nigeria, my fellow Nigeria, wow. Let's stay as one. United we stand, divided we fall. Nigeria is beautiful when we are all one. I don't believe in breaking. Look at only COVID-19. Lockdown, everybody is shouting. Release us, so let us go out so hungry. Imagine if it was war. So COVID-19 is a sample of war. And we are drumming for war, and we cannot stand only 1 month of lockdown. So what are we not talking about if we talk of war? We are not looking forward to war. So let us stay as one Nigeria. God will help us.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for the time. Thank you for the wisdom that you have shared. It's a privilege having you around, and it's a big privilege talking to you. We want to say Pep Radio, so privileged to have you, and we look forward to see you do greater things in the industry. Okay, so this is where we're going to wrap it up on the program, One-on-One. And today we've had the opportunity to talk with the veteran, someone who has spent over 30 good years in the movie industry, and that's in the person of Mrs. Rose Odika. All right, don't forget to join us on another interesting edition of One-on-One on Pep Radio. And my name remains Debbie.
Pep TV, Pep TV, Pep TV is the best. Pep TV, Pep TV, Pep TV is the best in town.